Ladies and gentlemen, coming up right now, we've got a panel discussion. New leaders in retail, changing the narrative from traditional to disruptive. And please put your hands together and help me in welcoming on stage our distinguished moderator and speakers. He is Director Marketing and Communications, Retailers Association of India. Please welcome our moderator, Dr. Hitesh Bhatt. Dr. What? So, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, he is founder, Lemme Be. Please welcome Devidutta Dash. Devidutta Dash, can we have you on stage? Harshal, Taniya Biswas, Rajat Jadhav, and Dr. Hitesh Bhatt. And with that, it's over to you, Dr. Bhatt, to take charge.
Thank you, Hugo. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Retail Leadership Summit. Since morning, we have been listening to all the stalwarts of the industry, and we have heard a lot about what the vision is all about, where the consumer is going, what are the trends, where the technology is going, how do we, come up with the challenges and face the challenges that the retail is, facing today. We saw a couple of product launches as well. We saw knowledge report launches. But this panel today, the title goes like this: New Leaders in Retail and Changing the Narrative from Traditional to Disruptive. So today we have got 4 young tucks with us, and they are going to tell us how they are changing the narrative of retail from traditional to disruptive. It's not modern. From traditional to disruptive is what we are going to talk about. So first, I would request the team to play the first video, and then we'll start with the introduction of our panelist. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll first do the introduction and then we start with the first video. So I'll start with Rajat, and introduce yourself, and then we can take this ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I hope this is working.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm Rajat, I'm the founder of Bold Care. So we are a men's sexual health brand. What we do is we provide consultations with the experts. These are free consultations, and then we have a holistic range of products, right? So we take care of everything from a sexual health perspective, ED, P, condoms, lubes, everything. Yeah, been in the market 4 odd years now. Getting close to around 2 million orders, so some scale. But yeah, thank you.
Taniya.
Hello everyone, I'm the co-founder of the brand Suta. Suta is an artisanal brand, and we work with 17,000 weavers and artisans across India. Our main product range is saris and blouses, and we wanted to get saris back in people's lives as a regular wear, and kind of proudly say that we revolutionized saris and brought it back. We are a 7-year-old brand, and clocking a revenue of around 70 CR. So that's our journey, and we are bootstrapped. Thank you.
Harsh.
Hi, I'm Harsh. I'm co-founder of The Soul Store. Today we're India's biggest brand for official merchandise. So we've tied up with the superheroes, the cartoons, the TV series, Netflix's, IPL teams, football teams of the world, and sell their official merchandise in the country. I know Hitesh ji introduced us as young founders, but it's been almost 11 years since we started the Soul Store, so it seems like quite a journey already.
Yes, indeed. Devi.
Hi everyone, this is Devidutta Dash. I am the founder and CEO of Lemme Be. We are an intimate wellness brand, and we target Gen Z, inclusive audience. like the new age folks who are looking for sustainable and inclusive period care products and sexual wellness products. So on this journey for last 3.5 years and a long way to go, we've just begun and a lot to learn and unlearn.
Good. Thanks everyone for this introduction. I would now request Hardik to play the video for the first brand.
Hi, I'm Sujata.
Hi, I'm Taniya.
You must have heard this n
Tanya.
number of times you've said that. We are the co-founders of Suta. We'll tell you about why we started Suta.
The first and foremost motive and mission was that we wanted to see social impact with our work, and hence we started working with weavers. We started with 2 weavers, and today we are working with over 17,000 weavers and artisans.
And the second biggest reason was we wanted to bring saris in fashion. We absolutely love how youngsters and people who had left wearing saris or people who are starting their journey with saris, they pick Suta because Suta is a one-stop shop for saris where you get saris with petticoats, with beautifully fitted blouses, and the saris are already with fallen edging. And people who don't know how to wear a sari, they can get the saris pre-draped. Yay! So these are the reasons why we started Suta, and we really are proud that we have created this beautiful world of Suta.
That's Suta for you. How many women out here with saris? I have specs, so I may be weak in my... Oh, 1. Excellent. So we have 1 plus 1 here. So is this the reason that you started Suta?
Definitely yes, because I was a strategy consultant before I started Suta, and then when I used to wear saris to work, and people used to ask what special day today and why are you wearing sari? Are you meeting someone special? Going to the temple? Used to turn a lot of heads, get a lot of compliments, but nobody would really come and wear a sari, would want to fit into the men's world and would suit up and even not enjoy it. So I think saris had to come back, and I think saris was cumbersome is what people thought, because you had to get a sari, stitch a fall edging, then get a good fitted blouse and go to a tailor. It's a lot of steps, right? So we wanted to sort it, and we did.
So Tanya, there are hundreds and thousands and lakhs of retailers who may be dealing in saris. How do we differentiate? So how does Suta differentiate itself from all of these?
When we started Suta, we wanted to create something which was not there. We wanted to create something which we didn't find ourselves in the market, which was a plain, soft, solid color sari. If I went to the store and asked for it, people said that, the shopkeeper said that it's for elderly women. Why are you not looking at the bright color, golden, heavy saris, you're a young girl. Nobody would even show us, and hence we went to the weavers to make those. We didn't know how big the market would be, but I thought that there'll be a sizable market, people like us who would want comfort more than just wearing bling and occasional wear. So that's how we started.
Good. So currently, where all can we access your saris from your distribution point of view?
We started online. www.suta.in is the website where we do the maximum sales from. Then there are marketplaces of the world, Myntra, Amazon, Nykaa, Ajio, and all the places. And we have physical stores now across India. There are 9 stores. You can find the details on the website. So these are the places we operate from. We also do exhibitions in 2-tier cities and 3-tier cities for understanding the kind of market there is. I think these are the places for how you can get Suta.
So you are there in almost 6-7 cities now?
9.
9 cities. Is there a difference in all the cities, or do you see the genres same, or how do you see the customer of a Suta?
There are a lot of people who already know about Suta but haven't tried wearing it, because saris and blouses as a category, people have always shopped on physically. So, converting them to shopping online is quite difficult. Though they know the brand, they love the brand, So stores have helped quite a lot, and people, when they try and they see and feel beautiful in it, they buy a lot more, and hence average order value in physical stores is much higher. So I think stores are definitely gonna be there to stay, and physically shopping is something that people love. That's not gonna take away from the online market. So that's gonna grow for sure, and I think there's a huge potential there. Customer base in two-tier cities, I think they are hungry for good, innovative brands to come to their cities. So there's a big scope there. So I think it's doing much better than even the metro cities comparatively. But all the stores are profitable. So yeah, I think physical
Very
stores
nice.
are here
All
to
the
stay.
stores are profitable. So this is again a good insight that Tier 2 city customers are more hungry than the Tier 1 city customers because lack of options or maybe choices and availability, etc. With that, I would request Hardik to now play the second video, please.
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. So they put me in the dirt.
Flex with Hardik. Harsh?
Yeah, we've been doing it for the last couple of years. In fact, we just shot with him yesterday, so you'll see the new Summer 24 video out in the next 1 month.
Well done. Did you ever imagine when you started 10 years back, you must have just graduated out of college, I suppose.
Yeah.
That, in few years down the line, you'll be having stars, as ambassadors for your brand.
To be very honest, I think when we started the Soul Store, we probably had 6 months of savings in our bank. We basically thought the longer we can sustain the Soul Store, the longer we don't have to do a day job. I think that was the only motivation we had when we started, and everything else honestly has been a bonus since then. It's just been a great journey.
Great. Just the initial moment when you said you started, what was that raison d'etre, or what was that spark that made you come up with a t-shirt brand? Because like we were just discussing before this, a couple of us have already had this endeavor of starting a brand, a t-shirt brand, because that's what is most common, right? Rajat was telling about. Go to Tirupur, create a brand, go to Tirupur, give the brand to them, they'll print it, and you start a business. But is it that easy, Harsh?
Fortunately, it's not, which is why a lot of brands don't sustain for 10 years. So why we started the Soul Store, honestly, two very simple reasons. In terms of why we wanted to start something of our own, like I said, genuinely we hated our day jobs. We didn't have fun showing up at work every day, forcing ourselves and then going back home. So we wanted to do something fun that we genuinely look forward to. I think that was the motivation for us to quit our jobs. And why the Soul Store or why licensed merchandise? All of us were pop culture fans, right? Superheroes, cartoons, TV series, etc. And there was genuinely no place to buy good quality, affordable merchandise. You either bought fakes off the street, or you had relatives in the US who actually came back once a year and bought you products, right? Which were most likely manufactured in India, exported to the US, and then come back to India at 4, 5, 6 times the cost. So it seemed like a pretty obvious opportunity that no one was taking up. And yeah, from 2013 when we signed our first license to today, I think today we have more than 150 partners on board. So that was the reason behind starting the Soul Store.
And can you name a few of those out of 150?
Yeah, there's a lot. So we have Marvel, DC, Harry Potter friends, IPL teams, football teams. We're the official partner for Netflix in the country. We have a bunch of anime and music licenses coming up. Honestly, pretty much every character that you're a fan of, you will either find at the Soul Store today or very, very soon.
Excellent. So this was the gap and he formalized it. Hardik, we can play the next video, please.
When the pains and cramps of period call, I don't aspire to walk, run, dance, and rule them all. I want to listen to my body. Oh, it's those days when you think I'm moody. Honestly, I need a tampon that doesn't just absorb my blood, but your patriarchy. Cause I don't need empowering anthems anymore. I need you to accept my red stains and say blue liquid no more. Remember, when you see blood every month of the year, girl, you ain't just a baby carrier. You are a warrior. So it's high time I tell you to let me be. Let me be the comfort for my body. Let me be the judge of my sexuality. Let me be a menstruator. Just let me be. Period.
Lemme Be. Devi, that was a very good ad.
We showed blood for the first time. In fact, yesterday I met Mr. Sam from Madison World.
Sambal sir.
And he is the one who first suggested the blue liquid on a sanitary pad for Whisper, and that's how Whisper became a market leader. And we were discussing about this, and he said it's about time that we showed some blood. And it was a fantastic conversation.
So what made you enter this category, Devi?
Well, I wouldn't say I understood a problem statement, but in 1999, there was a super cyclone in Odisha, so I am from Odisha. And my mother used to work with Red Cross, and she pushed us to become a volunteer so that we go and distribute sanitary pads because it was necessary. And in that process, I realized that there is so much stigma and taboo, and I've been a volunteer on and off for those many years. And yeah, the gap is definitely there with 50 crore plus women, 35 crore menstruators. 30% of the population is actually using a period care product or understand their sexual wellness journey, like, for example, HPV vaccines. So there is so much, the gap is so huge that intimate wellness category for female, especially for female, is not discussed, just too much hush-hush, and there is a scope for a lot of brands to survive and thrive and possibly bring innovation. That is the reason why I started. It might sound bookish, but it is a reality.
So that was indeed good, Devi. But what was your major breakthrough? Or let me put it this way, that now that this is the idea that I want to pursue from a business point of view. And this is not only an emotional, where the story that you gave, and it's a very heartwarming one. But what was that business reason, let me put it that way, that made you enter into this category? So you must have done your math.
Yeah. Because there are just a couple of legacy brands who are ruling the roster right now. The scope of sustainable products, innovative products, also a product which could possibly survive an apocalypse, is still not there. So there is a gap. And we are trying to figure out newer products which solves a problem statement, like not a problem statement, just providing comfort to our users is what we are tackling. And the industry is so vast, like just for example, we don't even know what is the size of the sexual wellness market. It could be 10 billion, it could be 50 billion. We just don't know. So all of this falls under a sexual wellness category, and we've just scratched the surface, so just exploring the iceberg.
Thanks, Devi. Now we'll play the last ad.
केशव, तुम घर छोड़कर क्यों जा रही हो? क्या हुआ? तुम खुश नहीं हो यहाँ?
जी, इनकी डाली पे कभी फूल नहीं खिलता।
क्या मतलब? केशव,
चुप, बोलने दो मुझे। आपके छोटे भाई का पप्पू खानदान साला। इनका जॉनी कभी सेंस ही नहीं करता।
केशव, क्या बकवास किए जा रही हो?
मैंने इन्हें कितनी बार बोला कि बोल्ड केयर लिया करो, ताकि इन्हें बेडरूम में कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो।
केशव! केशु, तुम ठीक हो?
नहीं, मैं बहुत ठीक हूँ।
Fine, I'll take care of her. Take bold care of her. 4 out of 10 men are unable to perform in bed. But what most men don't know is that it's very common and very easy to solve. Order our range of high quality sexual health products on www.boldcare.in today and get instant results.
Rajat, congratulations on this ad. It has been so viral that virality came here on this stage at RLS today.
Thank you so much.
So before we go, into the other parts of it, what is the reason that this ad has been so popular on social media and it has been talked about almost everywhere, all the agencies across all the categories of the level of people. At least I would not like to give a name to this. You are the right person, but for a layman like me, we have been seeing this across Insta and Facebook and even LinkedIn, and where people have commented, ad gurus have commented about this ad. So from that perspective, I would like to know what is the success behind this?
Okay, so maybe what it did first, right?
Yes, and
so
then,
for this campaign, we spent about 20 odd lakhs in propagating it, and I think we have gotten more than 120 odd million hits on it.
Wow. 120 million hits on this campaign.
Yeah. So, if you're a disruptor, you have to think out of the box. That was our whole goal, right? If I do what everyone else is doing in the room, I'll always be the guy at the back, right? If I have to sort of leapfrog everyone and bring the brand in the forefront, and if I have somebody like Ranveer with me, you have to think out of the box, right? The second sort of level idea there was, for difficult conversations, humor is always the easiest way to sort of approach it. If I go with any other angle, people won't share it, they won't talk about it, it'll be just a blip that sort of fades away, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll maybe add one thing. One of my investors, his wife, she lives in a very premium society here. So she was sharing a screenshot of this women's group that they have, where the ad was getting shared. So it's very hard for something which is end of the day branded content to be part of a WhatsApp group of, let's say, a very, very premium society in Mumbai, right? So yeah, that was the whole objective. Get the news far and wide.
Bold care. We all saw the ad and we all understood, we appreciated it, and the world has appreciated it. But Rajat, what has been, again the same question to you also, why did you enter this category, and you started as an digital first brand?
Yep.
Even now you are a digital first.
Yes, almost completely. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a completely D2C brand, but what made Rajat enter this category is something which Rajat would like you to share.
Yeah, so it's not a new thing for me, so I started my first company, which was an e-pharmacy business in 2014, 2015. Very poorly done, didn't reach anywhere, but what was very surprising was around 50% of our total volume was sexual health orders, and that sort of stayed with me, that this is a very unique category where the story is not that in 2030 a new generation will flip over that will want everything online. It's a story where the current generation, the 25, 35, 45-year-old man today would prefer a solution that's online because they want a privacy-oriented solution, right? So that was the sort of first hook for me. Then obviously I went to the VC side of things, spent 3 odd years there. What sort of I ended up realizing in around 2.5 years is, for most consumer healthcare businesses, sexual health, sexologists, sexual wellness is either a number 1, number 2, number 3 category. But then if I ask you a simple question, what's a good sexual health brand? I've done it like 4,000 or 5,000 times now. Every time I go and ask people what's a good sexual brand, nobody ever has an answer to that question, right? So that's what I realized. Okay, online makes complete sense. It's not a force fit. People want a solution for this problem. If I ask somebody, there is nobody out there solving it for them. And if you look at total sort of demographics, there are close to 90 million men in the country who face these issues at some point in their life, right? So it's a very clear supply-demand issue, with the best business model being something that is online. So yeah, ABC sort of put together, got onto it, yeah.
Got onto it, and that too successfully. I really like that first part, that complete privacy is there if you are ordering online. You order the product, it comes at your house and nobody knows about it, and that too in a closed box. Everybody knows that. So that was, I think, one of the key things when I did my survey, about why these brands are successful enough. But to create a brand out of this product, Bold Care, is something which, I can, and everybody gives the credit to you, that this category is there, and always you go to a chemist shop and you'll get all these products, Ayurveda shops and stuff like that. But to formalize this in this way is something which Bold Care has done by creating this brand. Can you tell us what was the major impediment for you when you started this journey? Because if I look at all these products, t-shirts, everyone and everywhere it is available and everyone can do it. Same with saris. But when you talk about this kind of a product, what were the major challenges that you faced and how did you overcome that?
I can keep on speaking
Yeah,
for a very
please.
long time on that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of... So when we started, most sort of e-commerce platforms, most payment gateways had a no Indian sexual health brand policy. For the first 3 months, I've done complete cash on delivery. Because just absolutely nobody is ready to trust that, okay, this is really a legitimate brand that is going to provide solutions that truly work, right? So that's where we started. It was completely a category creation work, where we had to first not just convince investors ki thoda paisa de do, but also go and convince these platforms that, okay, no, we are a legitimate solution. Please let us be on these platforms, right? But that is where the opportunity truly lies, right? I didn't want to be selling the 50th of a thing that is very well established, where end of the day online might just be a force fit, right? It made complete sense to me that, okay, if you're trying to do something disruptive, you better try to find a category that's really big, nobody has ever figured out how to do it, and hack at it, right? Some things are totally correct. Some of our SKUs are such that, so if I try to sell a shampoo online, people generally know how the mode of application of a shampoo is.
Yeah.
But there's so many of my products where people don't even know, okay, how do you even apply it, or where, what's the logic of this product, right? So there is a process of education, but you reap rewards if you're able to do it properly, right? Which is, organic, for example, is like more than 60% of my revenue.
Okay.
Retentions are way too high, so you sort of get the benefit out of it.
Yeah, another thing that you spoke about, you had no money initially, you started. So can you just tell us, and this question will be to all the founders when it comes to the vitamin M, how do we face this challenge? And there is a challenge for growth, and on the other side we have to ensure profitability as well subsequently, but it has to be at some time. So what was your challenge from an investment perspective?
Yeah, so we have had a very different sort of a journey, I would say. I was just telling sir that in the first 2 years of starting the business, everyone would say that we will die as a company because my competition had raised 20 million, somebody had raised around 10 million, somebody had raised around 5 million, and at that point I had about 150, 200K in my bank.
Wow.
And that is after closing the round, not that I'm out there raising money, that is the money I was able to raise. And then, 2 years fast forward, the folks who had raised that 20-odd million round, we were doing close to 5 to 6 times the order volume that these guys were doing, with about 1/10th, 1/20th, or whatever, the amount of money, right? Eventually, though, even when you come to that third year for our journey, everyone said that, okay, Rajat, you will die as a business because the guys with 20, 10, 5 couldn't really figure out the category. So how can you guys do it? So there are always great people who are ready to help you, who are ready to back your vision if you are able to get your job done of, building a business that logically makes sense from a unit economics, from the category you are tapping, from the product line that you have, from the brand perception that you're able to get. Fundraising journey in the last 6 months has been absolutely great because finally the market has sort of completely cleared up. We are the only ones there in terms of digital. We are able to compete with legacy companies now. On some of the biggest platforms, my condoms will rank, for example, higher than some of the biggest, brands that you have seen for the last 2 decades now.
Yeah.
So now that journey has become easier, but in the first 3-4 years, it was just a complex and horrible sort of a ride in terms of fundraising. Yeah.
So from complex to horrible to a fantastic journey with Ranveer Singh is Rajat's journey. Taniya, how are you managing your business? Have you got tons of money raised? And what are your profitability goals? How do you manage those?
When we started the brand, we invested 6 lakhs, me and my co-founder together. And we kept circulating that money. And I think the way we have survived is that we were very frugal from the start. Even today, we are very frugal. We have grown really well. And we are bootstrapped, we haven't raised money, and we are going to clock around 72 CR this year. It's been 7 years till now. But I think it's the only way we could survive is that we were profitable every year on year. And we made sure that we are sitting on the numbers right, that we are looking at every single penny that's going out and if it's coming back. And I think that that's the way we have done. It's very simple logic that we have applied, and we were on top of it. We didn't spend money on things that people asked us to spend on. We didn't do too much of influencer marketing because luckily it happened organically. Bollywood accepted Suta really well, and also it's just that no other brand was making what we were making, and hence I think saris was also coming back. And if you see things on Netflix, Amazon Prime TV, Bollywood, every other movie has a Suta, which is beautiful, and we didn't pay money for it because we thought that we can't afford it. And but the beauty is that people still recognize the Suta. I think that's the beauty of the brand that we created. What worked is UGC. We kept building the community really well. And even if the product is not a very high value product, like how you'd flaunt a Gucci and a brand that you have spent money on and you're very proud of it. But a Suta being say, starts from around 1900 to goes up to some average product price is around 3,500. You would not proudly go and say that, oh, I'm wearing a Suta, right? You would not do that. It's just another product. But people did that. People bonded on Suta. People who met each other and saw that they're wearing Suta, they went for a beer or a cup of coffee. You know, people bonded on the product because they believed in the brand. They thought that they're part of the community. I think that's what built the brand over the years. And I'm hoping that we grow sustainably like this. And yeah, I think it's been beautiful that the kind of weavers community and the customer community that we have created, they are all together in this journey.
Thanks. Harsh, since we are talking about growth, yeah, a big hand to Taniya. Harsh, since we are talking about the growth, and growth is life. When you started again 10, 11 years back. Today, how many stores we have at the Soul store?
So we just opened our 22nd store a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
It's been a fun journey. I think we're going to end this year at about 45 stores.
Wow.
So we're going to double up this calendar year. And yeah, I think the vision is 100 stores in the next 2.5 years. I think India is a massive country. It's a conservative estimate, but why not? Yeah? At least 100 stores.
100 stores in next 2.5 to 3 years is what the Soul store is having this vision. And they are already touching 40 by the end of this year. So this aggressive, from where do you get this aggressiveness? Who is motivating you?
I think success, honestly. We've had a great offline journey, and I think an overall journey over the last 10 years. When we opened our first store, right, it's a very interesting journey now that I think of it. It was at Linking Road, Bandra. Every investor that we spoke to told us, if you want to use my money to open offline stores, I'm not going to invest in the company, right? You guys are doing a great job online, stick to it. Offline is something you don't understand, the rents will kill you, inventory, dead stock, blah, 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 right? We said it's okay, we're going to do one experiment. We chose Linking Road, Bandra, which is probably one of the most expensive places to open a store. We had zero experience in how to run a store, right? Our first store, and we're very proud, was designed by 4 founders with zero design experience. People who designed t-shirts for us, and a carpenter and an electrician. That was the budget and the imagination that we had. That store today has doubled up from about 600 square feet to 1100 square feet.
Wow.
It clocks an average of about 65 lakhs a month in revenue. We don't spend a rupee on discounting. We don't spend a rupee on marketing offers. It's just the love, right? And I think one of the reasons our brand has been that successful online and offline, honestly, is just relatability. Even when we started off in 2013, we didn't have money, right? Like a lot of us. But why people came to us, I'm a fan of Batman, I'm a fan of Harry Potter, there's no other brand selling these characters. So I think licenses helped us add a lot of legitimacy initially. It helped us get a lot more customers without burning money. And then when they like your service, they like your quality, you're a brand that they can trust, I think they're going to come back. So today when we look at our white label, right, which is the non-licensed part, is more than 50% of our business. Which means that while people love the Harry Potters and the Netflixes and the football teams of the world, they actually stay back simply because they love the brand and the quality and the price and the service.
Thanks, Harsh. That is indeed inspiring, and I'm looking forward to track the growth trajectory of the Soul Store.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah. Devi, what are your plans? See, we have got these founders at different life cycle of business, and you also have your vision. What is your next strategy? How are you going to take Lemme Be from where it is here today to the next level?
We are competing with the legacy brands, and their most robust strategy is building distribution, which we clearly cannot build without a huge amount of capital, or possibly create as much awareness without as much capital as they have. Where we are right now is that we are focused on quick commerce, because that's a great way to reach our urban audience really, really fast. We are focused on modern trade channels. We are present in about 4,000 stores now, and it is like the perfect touch point for our consumers to touch and feel the product, look at our packaging and the content and feel inspired, or possibly just pick up for experimentation. So yeah, like Amazon, and we are also selling in Dubai and Saudi and Australia. These are the markets where we don't spend a single dollar, and the brand actually resonates with the global audience. So that is the strategy, and it's going to be like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will move again to Rajat, and we'll talk about influencer marketing, because that is something that has been the talk of the town, and since last couple of years, influencer marketing has been very prominent in our CMOs, not only the budget, but the to-do list also as a priority. How have you leveraged influencer marketing, and can you tell how did Ranveer join this brand, Bold Care?
So sir, in terms of influencer marketing, I have a very counter view than I think the average. I generally think it doesn't work if you're working with, let's say, few influencers and getting them to make reels for you. The half-life of an Instagram reel is like nothing, in 2 days it's gone, you can never go back and find it also. It works if you are operating in a niche and there are sort of some, leaders in that niche who have some influence over the customers there. But generally speaking, I don't think it works. And it used to work, right? See, every time something new comes, there will be, pioneers who will tap onto it and make a great brand out of it. Influencer marketing was fantastic in 2019, 2020, when influencer marketing wasn't really a word. Yeah. And that is when the board guys, Mama, all of them tapped it and did really, really well. In my view, you need, for now, for this stage, and I could be completely wrong, but you basically, to influence, especially in a category like ours, you basically go for the best of the best, right? The best in the country in terms of having an influence, I think, is Ranveer Singh. He's obviously a great person to work with as well. I think we have been working now for a year and a half, while obviously the ad finally came out in Feb of this year. But the engagement with him has been for a very long time. How it ended up happening, it was a 30-minute chat that we were planning to have. I somehow convinced his manager that get me in front of him for 30 minutes. That 30 minutes became like a 3-hour conversation. I think we left that hotel at 2:33 in the night. He was super excited with what we were doing. There was a lot of matching in terms of ambition that we want to have. We really want to make a change in this category, become the go-to brand here. If somebody thinks of men's sexual health, they should just be thinking of Bold Care, right? That's it. And he sort of aligned with that vision. So yeah, then it's a slow sort of a process. You get comfortable with them, they get comfortable with you. He's obviously come on as a co-founder. He's been working on behind the scenes for almost a year now. So yeah, that's my view on influencer marketing. You better work with the best, or else everything else is way too diluted. People see through it like anything. And even if you're working with the best, if you put out a very generic sort of an ad, people see through that as well. I think especially like under 30 user base with branded content, there is a crazy sort of an aversion that is happening. So you have to sort of think out of the box. But yeah.
Okay, so now I will come to the last leg of our discussion, and it will be a rapid fire round, maybe 2-3 questions to all of you. And since you have the mic, we'll start with you and then we'll move to Taniya. What is your eureka moment? Can you share the aha moment that sparked the creation of this brand, Be Bold Care?
Yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned, I've done my dues on the VC side of things. So I was sitting in a meeting where a very large healthcare company was telling that we do 25% of our total searches in sexologists, and that is when it clicked for me that at a very, very minuscule stage I've seen the same thing. So yeah.
Okay, what's the most unconventional marketing tactic you have successfully employed? To you, and then we'll ask all of them. Unconventional marketing tactic, not the TV ads and the newspaper ads.
Yeah, so if you see this ad, right, it's not running on TV, it's not running on YouTube. The only place we dropped it was on Ranveer's Instagram. That's it. In our category, marketing is very difficult. There are no channels for you to openly go and talk about your product. The only thing we can do is make good content which people are ready to share it, right? So I think that was the whole thing. We could not spend any money behind it. We had to get organic virality.
Okay, so this is not a rapid fire. Is the Indian man changing the behavior from this product category perspective? Have you seen the change in the behavior?
So it's a slow journey. Nothing is going to happen overnight, right? Mental health in 2010 was when, it was at the cusp of people getting comfortable. But now finally in 2020, 2022, mental health has become like an easy conversation for people to have. Nobody is worried about having it. I think we are at the 2010 movement for sexual health. The amount of people who spoke about sexual health now, men's sexual health now, is been greater than any point before, let's say, the ad had come out, right? So it's a step. It's first step. There is a long journey to be had now.
Done. Taniya, over to you. What is the best compliment you have, in the sense that you have got from a customer?
Customers, I think it's not I wouldn't say it's the best, but the most number of compliments is the same line saying that I have gotten back to saris because of you, and youngsters saying that my first sari is a Suta. So I think these two have always been there with us.
Very good. Can you, the question is the same as I had asked Rajat. Do you see the change in the approach in today's women about how they perceive sari overall? Has that change come, or it's fading away?
I think there's a definite change. People have started wearing whatever they feel like and to express themselves, who they are really. And I think fashion is exactly that, and not what is trending all the time. It is about how you want to express yourself. And this is sure change. People are wearing saris with t-shirts, with crop tops, with whatever they feel like, and being really comfortable in how they drape. And they are draping in different styles, and we are learning from customers and not vice versa. So I think there's a definite change, and especially you wear boots, you wear shoes with saris. It's not a must that you wear heels and struggle with it.
Sure. Harsh, over to you. What would be your most unconventional marketing tactic?
So I think I'm thinking of our first photo shoot, our first professional photo shoot. Again, we didn't have money. I think all the money we had, we just spent booking a studio, photographer, lighting, right? And now we're like, okay, we need models, but they're expensive. So we actually sat one entire day in office. Our designers, our marketing team, all opened each other's Facebooks. We're literally going through everyone's friends, and we're like, okay, this friend is good looking, this friend is good looking, can we get all of them? So our first photo shoot was a friends and family photo shoot. Extremely amateurly done. I'm very proud to say I was one of the models as well. So I think those were the initial days, right? Let's just do something fun, and obviously now we have Hardik Pandya as a brand ambassador and as an investor on board. But I think one common thread across all our journeys is when you don't have the money or the resources that other brands have, you're forced to think differently, and because we focused on profitability from the first day, it's helped us today, right? I think in the last 1 or 2 years, there's a lot more brands that are now focusing on profitability. Money is not as free or as cheap as it was a couple of years ago. And while a lot of brands have struggled to sort of change their mindset from a growth at all costs to a profitability mindset, the fact that everyone in our team has been thinking along these lines for the last 10 years means that we're already where other brands are struggling to get.
Good. Last question to all of you. 5 years down the line, where do you see, either in numbers or what's your vision 5 years down the line? For example, 2 or 3 years down the line, you want to be 100 stores. So the question is common, and this is the last question. 5 years down the line, where do you want you all to be seen at?
I think we have a 3-year plan, definitely. At least that's what we've told our investors. 5 years, I don't know. So 3 years, I think 100 stores continuing to run the business profitably, and if things go as per plan, IPO. I think that's the vision of the brand.
Okay. Devi, 5 years down the line, 10.
100% profitable, definitely.
Yes.
Goes without saying. But definitely want to be a part of a young menstruator's journey and stay there, stick around for next 30 years.
Wow, stick around for next 30 years. Yes. Tanya.
5 years down the line, I would want more and more weavers to join the 17,000 weavers and keep giving them work constantly. That's the main aim, like 365 days of work. And that's really challenging when you scale up. That's one. And also being profitable and being sustainably growing is the other.
Rajat, 5 years down the line.
Yeah, so sir, I also think 5 years down the road, but 3 years we do have a plan, couple of things, right? Number one, cross that 300 crore revenue mark.
Excellent.
Number two, in terms of men's sexual health, be the go-to brand there in terms of recall. But even in something as competitive as condoms, which is a very relatively new launch for us, ideally online, even outcompete some of the biggest brands out there. We are doing it right now, but I want to come to that number one position, even in something as competitive as condoms, and I think we should be able to do that. Yeah.
Excellent, and all the best to you. With this, the way I look at our discussion in the last half an hour to 40 odd minutes is, we have seen these young Turks who have, created this brand out of a purpose. Also, there was a big gap in the market. All these 4 founders have been able to identify that gap, and then they started to build a product around it and subsequently create a brand. All of them have spent thriftily. They are not big spenders. At least in their initial years, although we have got now Ranveer and Hardik, but both of them as influencers and as celebrities have come as co-investors, co-founders. So that is another takeaway from this, that why will a Hardik Pandya invest in a brand which is a t-shirt brand, or why will Ranveer Singh invest in a brand which is a men's healthcare brand? So that's the proof of the pudding, is the investment that these stars are making in brands like this. Another thing that is, innovation is always there, but more than the innovation part, the strategy part, or the marketing tactic or the overall growth strategy part, I think it is the zeal, the passion and the perseverance which you all have shown in creating this brand of yours is the major reason for the success or whatever stage you have got here, and it's definitely a success. So we wish you all the best for your 5-year vision, and thank you very much for being part of RLS 2024. Appreciate. Thank you very much. Anybody wants to ask a question, we can take one question to any one of our founders. Before we break for lunch, I know it's almost 1:40. Yeah, there is one question. There are 2 questions, but can you please give the mic to the gentleman out there?
We'll be passing a mic on to you. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Devidutta Shah. So my questions to the one lady founder from Lemme Be. Hi, I work on the same profession into menstrual hygiene. Okay, so where we make the sanitary pad vending machines, disposal machines and all. So my only one question to you, so what inspired you to be into this profession for such a long time? I mean, something which I'm also looking for myself.
You are into vending machines, sanitary pads?
Yeah, so sanitary pad like
35 crore women, monthly spending of 200 rupees, 1200 annual spending. By default, it is like a Colgate toothpaste. So if you can stick around long enough, maybe it's worth it.
The market is so huge.
Market is so huge. We just don't know how big the market is, like, honestly.
Both the corners, the men's sexual health market as well as the category in which Devi is, it's humongous. So you will anyways find, you have to just put your hand and take out the gold from the ocean. That it's as easy as that. It is not, you heard them. It's not.
But habit shift is so tough. So all the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.